My name is Kyla Driver. I'm the program manager at BlackOhm.
So I'm Creed, one of the medics here that was working at the Pershing Cup, sitting right next to this lovely lady.
Yeah, so it's the Alpha armband. So we put it on every competitor during the competition. And it does two things mainly. So it does GPS and physiological monitoring. So you're getting their heart rate, their skin temperature, estimates their core body temperature for heat strain, and it also does all the GPS tracking. So you get all their grids, location, all that stuff all in one. So it can pair with other GPS trackers that we have to extend the life. So it's able to work a lot longer and for different purposes. So whether you're doing a 5-mile run or patrolling, you have the ability to use it for different purposes like that.
Oh my goodness. So I worked at Fort Benning for a long time where heat cats were the absolute norm a few years back. Seeing on the screen whose body temperature was climbing and who wasn't, I was then able to communicate with the medics on the ground to watch out, say, for competitor number 7E, look out for that one. And then they made sure that that person, that competitor, actually got to do the arm dunk in the immersion tank right in time. In real time, we watched the skin temp drop, and then he moved on his way and then went under 103 degrees. It was phenomenal. So what we currently have is absolutely nothing, right? So we have no monitoring in real time like this. This is very innovative. The only thing that we can do is once they are already unconscious or have an altered mental status, knowing something that they were doing was exertional, we do a core temperature. So this is way above leaps and bounds in that invasive procedure. We have a lot of deaths every year when it comes to heat casualties, a lot, far more than we absolutely need to, and leveraging this technology is just ingenious to make sure those young soldiers don't die. I think some of the challenges is like if somebody has a lot of tattoos,
yes,
we got to find out where that sensor can fit in between those tattoos. The competitors getting used to them is another thing, but by the end of it, didn't you say that they were completely, some of them even forgot that they were on?
Yeah, so I collected all the devices at the end of the competition when they just finished their ruck, and the majority of them forgot that they even had it on their arm, and that's what we strive for. I mean, we don't want to be putting something on the soldiers that's going to get in their way, cause them to think of other things, and be distracted from the task at hand. So when we're putting a device on them, we want it to be as non-invasive as possible, but still able to do what it does, and be able to provide that kind of information to the medics is huge. And I think on top of, you know, the soldiers wearing it and what the capability is that it provides to the medics, I think that there's so much more here for a discussion of, okay, now we're putting something in the hands of medics, leadership. You're changing the game when it comes to risk mitigation, because you are now able to make an assessment on the individual. You're not diagnosing them in any way, but you are going up to them before the possibility of them having a heat case and getting to them, doing what they need to do, keeping them in, and continue training to prevent that person from dropping out in the first place. So that's the main goal, is we want to be able to help all soldiers, no matter the environment that they're being put into, continue training and give the leadership and medics the tools that they need in order to do so. Yeah, so the device itself communicates up to our server, and from that server you're able to access the user interface from anywhere. So they were able to view it here in the rock.
They all phones if you need to. Like, it was awesome. Like on iPads, on TVs, they had it displayed. It was everywhere. And then also I was asking Mr. Driver here, if we need to shut this down so that only certain people can see it, can we? And she's like, absolutely. So it was phenomenal. We tried to design it in a way that it wasn't limited. So if you have one individual that needs to monitor everybody, they've got eyes on everybody. If you have people all over, like for example with this competition, the rock, the end point of the ruck, you have spread out.
Everybody, cadre, anybody can log in, see that information, be on the exact same page as everybody else, and have access to it wherever they need to. So yes, so not for Alpha specifically, this is kind of our latest device. We have an orange tracker that we actually used for tracking the medics, tracking the vans, but that's primarily actually an on-the-ground soldier monitoring system. So that's a program of record with PEO Strive. It's called the Soldier Monitoring System. There's 9 bases of issue right now that use that device for tracking anything from land navigation to free fall to patrolling to ruck marches, any kind of use case, and they have it located at their TASCs. So that's the main program that we have with the Army. But so far, actually every branch uses our devices right now. Yeah, the idea is that there's a use case for everything, you know, so not every single event that you do needs to have the physiological monitoring. It's really those high risk, high heat, you know, those certain events that it might be more necessary.
Like right now.
Like right now for this competition. But there's other instances where you're gonna just need to track them, just know where your guys are and what their status is from there. So having different options for those capabilities that can all integrate together or separately and all use the same interface. So it's not separated at all. You can integrate it all however you want to, whether it's drones, vehicles, soldiers, track whatever you need.
And then also, like, there's the rental option for a time being, right? And then there's
Sure.
the outright buying a certain amount of device too.
Yeah, so you can do a competition type use case, or you can do like a year. You can rent them for a certain period of time. Most of our units that we work with do like a 3-year contract and use it from there.
It's awesome. And you always get her. Well, maybe not her, but like you always get somebody.
Yeah. You would reach out to our company, whether it's directly knowing somebody that works for us like me. Anybody here pretty much has my information. But you could reach out on the website. We have all of our contact information on there. Most of the time you'll either get myself or a couple of our sales guys as well. I think I'm just overall, so I've done this research for so many years on heat cases and trying to prevent them from happening. We know it's something that's always going to happen. You're always going to be training in the heat. But I think having this type of technology is really changing the game when it comes to training and being able to do so safely.
This is so rewarding to watch and see it like real-time feed and be able to like reach out to like catch everybody in time. So I'm excited about this device.
So it really just goes
as a medic on the ground, or for my medics to use later.
Just like that.